Welcome everyone to the FIA World Rallycross Championship. It is time for round 3 from Höljes in Sweden, and we are just a few minutes away from starting the SuperPole action out on track. This is one timed lap from the start grid to the finish flag, which will determine the grid positions for Heat 1. It's a crucial lap. They're all getting ready here behind us on the pre-grid. But before we perhaps catch up with one or two drivers, let's have a look at exactly what Rallycross is. Here is the best of the action from last round in Hell, Norway. Well, there you have it. That is Rallycross for you. Hell gave us a lot of action. Now we are in Höljes. This can be called the holy grail of Rallycross tracks. Sébastien Loeb, you are back here in Höljes. How is it to be here again?
It's always an incredible experience to be here. When you see the atmosphere, especially outside of the track, it's incredible. The track itself is also incredible. It's very difficult, technical, but very fast also. So we are struggling a little bit at the moment. Hopefully we will find the right setup to be a bit faster in the heat. What
exactly are you struggling with?
The grip, overall grip, and the lap time. So yeah, we tried a lot of different solutions. Nothing was really incredible. So we'll see. We'll try to concentrate and try to have a good run.
How do you find this addition to the World Rallycross Championship with the SuperPole?
I think it's not bad. It's not bad because it's not a lottery. And lottery, we don't like so much the lotteries. So it's a good solution.
Thank you very much. Good luck. And that is it from the pre-grid. Let's head up to our commentators, Nick and Thomas.
Many thanks, Molly. Always a pleasure to hear from Sébastien Loeb, and it's interesting words from the super champion and the French driver. It's not a lottery. You've got to earn that pole position in the first heat of the day. And as you've been pointing out to us earlier, Thomas, it is very important. Pole position here in Höljes means an awful lot.
Yeah, you really do. And it is all about having that inside line into the first corner. We know that it is possible from the outside. But, I mean, it was really interesting to hear Loeb. They're saying they were struggling with the grip. They're trying a lot of different things. We need to get more intel on that throughout the day and how that is going. Well, it's going to be SuperPole and it's going to be exciting.
Well, it is the track that makes this race here so unique. People have called it the Holy Grail. They've been racing here since the 70s. Let's have a close look of why the Höljes racetrack is so important. Thomas, talk us through the make or break sections for you.
Well, I think it's the middle sector between turn 4 and 5, that little chicane there before we're going into the velodrome, because I've heard the drivers are saying it, I say it myself as well, you can gain so much there if you're willing to take the risk, but that's the thing. Do you want to take the risk where you can all go wrong, or do you want to save? Either that, it is the jump, that the mega jump we're seeing coming before that last corner. You can really see the cars are going sandy there, and it is all important to get the lines right, but if not, you'll get sand wide.
Yeah, 71% asphalt, 29% loose. And it's over about a 1.2 kilometer length racetrack. It is tight, it is technical. There is very little room for error because of those big jumps that Thomas was referring to. And also there have been some new curbs put into the racetrack that are putting a few drivers well, making them watch that little bit more careful. Let's wait and see. Let's get going with this SuperPole. It's against the clock, it's one lap, and it will determine the lineups for the first heat of the day. And the first man up is the 2019 World Champion, Timmy Hansen.
Magic weekend, magic racetrack. In my career, I've probably done thousands of laps on this track already, but these cars that we have this year, faster than ever. It will be fantastic, just all out for one lap.
And of course, Timmy Hansen won the race the last time the FIA World Rallycross Championship was contested here in Höljes. He had a 1-2 with his younger brother, Kevin, but it hasn't been the best start to the new season for this former world champion. His spotter is his father, Kenneth Hansen, a multiple winner here and a 14 times European champion. But Timmy Hansen is here today to try and get his season back on track. He's the first to admit that the first two races of the season for Timmy have been far from the expectation that he, his fans, or his team expected. This is Timmy Hansen looking to get 2023 back on track, and it needs to start here, right now, live in Sweden. Timmy Hansen needs to absolutely smash this track. It's all against the clock, and he will have to take in the Joker lap as well. And as we've already heard from Rolf Verlonged, the entry and exit to the Joker lap needs to be clean, error-free, to get that ultimate fast racing line. Timmy Hansen is the first of the 9 drivers in the SuperPole. He's waiting on the lights. And then it's the clock. There's the red. We are ready to race here. And it is green for go. Timmy Hansen looking to put the heat on the other 8 drivers that will proceed.
And it's Timmy Hansen there going hard over the first corner, just hard braking in. And I thought that we were going to take the Joker here, Nick, but Timmy Hansen's going for the standard lap here. And then coming into turn number 4 and 5. Climbing high on the curve, so you can see how much this means for Timmy now. He wants to put on a great lap here, and this is the benchmark. This is where it all begins. What can Timmy do? He sends it through the velodrome, launches it off in the exit there, coming down the straight. And from what I heard, we have about 180 kilometers going down there into that right-hander. It's all about getting the position right now, going over that jump there. Timmy Hansen does that great. It's a big jump there, coming into that last corner. It's a bit understeer in the exit there, and the exit as well, understeered. Not ideal over the finish line.
Good start from Timmy Hansen. My apologies, I thought they were taking in the Joker lap. It appears that is not the case for today's SuperPole. Timmy Hansen sets the early target time at 45.491 seconds. Good and clean off the jump, tight on the racing line. That is not a bad start at all for Timmy Hansen, but we will have to wait and watch to see if that is good enough to take top position and start in pole in Heat 1.
Looking back at the replay here, hard into the first corner here, going a bit on the curb there, sending it, breaks it in. We thought he was going to take the Joker there, but go for a standard lap, launches it off in the exit, and here we have the right-hander before the jump. There was a mega jump there. Timmy had a lot of pace, but into the last corner here, I think it was a bit understeered. It was struggling to rotate the car through the corner here, costs a bit of tense over the finish line, but look at that. Sends it over the jump, Timmy Hansen.
The winner here in 2021. Can he win again in 2023? We move on to the team principal, leader and developer of the Special One Racing team. This is Gerlen Schischeret, getting quicker and quicker as the season unfolds. Along with his teammate Sébastien Loeb, this all-French team. Well, we have to watch them carefully because the Lancia Delta Evo RX 1E gets faster and faster as the tour unfolds.
Here we are in Höljes. It's an amazing track, big jumps. The cars didn't jump so much yet, so we'll see. But we are really stoked to be here with the Lancia to be in this race. So let's see, we're gonna fight really hard.
Well, that's an interesting little soundbite, isn't it, from Gerlen Schischeret, saying that the Lancia has not had a lot of jump testing. They're about to get a lot of jump testing this weekend, Thomas, because these jumps are fast, they are big, quite possibly the biggest jumps of the season, all season long. We haven't seen China yet. They'll maybe surprise us. But certainly for the European stages of the FIA World Rallycross Tour, these are the biggest jumps. Let's see how the Lancia deals with those jumps. Gilles Schischerit, his best result on tour so far this season, 7th in Hell, Norway, a couple of weeks ago. He's the first to admit that this is work in progress. They develop the car with every race. But it is fair to say the Lancia is getting quicker. We're ready to race with red lights. There is the green for go for the French driver, challenging the time of Timmy Hansen at 45.491 seconds.
Oh, we know the Special One Racing's been struggling with the grip. Loeb said it himself. You can see that Gigery had a bit of a snap oversteer going into that first corner there, but saves it in quite nicely. Coming into that tricky section, on climbing a bit on the curb there. It is what we want because they can take a lot of height going into turn number 5. It's going to be exciting to see here. You can see that it's 5/10 off. The first split test shows that it's 5/10 off Timmy Hansen's time. Really shows that Timmy Hansen is on a payback here now from Hell with a fixed car from Hell here, and it's 3/10 off. Takes a bit in there on Timmy Hansen from that sector 2. Oh, launches it off. It looks so good over the jump, Gigery's car here, sending it off in the exit. Rotates the car really good, going on the finish line, but it is a 46.3.
So, Timmy Hansen sees off his first challenger by almost 9/10 of a second, waiting, watching patiently to see how good that 45.491 second time is. For Schischerit, not a bad performance at all. If he can keep it under a second off the fastest drivers for the rest of this SuperPole, the Frenchman will have a good chance.
You can look in the beginning here, coming into the first corner. It's exactly what Loeb was talking about. They struggle with the grip, and looking into the first corner, he has a bit of a snap oversteer. He pulls actually the handbrake there to get it turned around. I've never seen that before. Either way, coming into turn number 2, launches it off in the exit, goes a bit on the curb coming into turn number 4 here. But look here, he said he was doing some jump testing with the Lancia. Looks really good, slants really, really stable. Maybe a bit of a bump when he's in the landing, loses a bit there, but either way, looks really good. But it was nothing to do with the Timmy Hansen. Timmy Hansen has put on the benchmark here.
So still 7 drivers to go, and up next is a driver that is fresh off the back of his first podium performance in World RX for over 3 years. It's the German ace, Timo Scheider.
Höljes, the magic weekend is about to start. It's just so cool to be back here. Thousands of fans are cheering for us, hopefully, and we try to make Hell coming back again here to Höljes.
Really looking forward to Timo, hoping to pick it up where he left off a couple of weeks ago in Norway with that brilliant 3rd position. It was a great weekend for the allinkle.com team, with Mandy August winning a heat race, with René Munich picking it up off the back of his podium performance in the first round of the Euro RX 1 series. Allinkle.com are brimming with confidence, and now the key to success is to keep it flowing. Timo Scheider here, looking to beat Timmy Hansen's target time at 45.491. The light is green, and away goes the German driver.
Timo Scheider here now, coming into the first corner. All this experience he has from before on driving the Höljes here, sends it over that first crest. Takes a lot of height going into turn number 2 there. Gets a lot of speed in the exit. Let's see now how much will you use the curb going into turn number 4 and 5. It lays the front of the car a bit on the curb, but not too much. The same goes on with that right-hander there, now sending it down to the velodrome. And he's currently 5/10 off Timmy Hansen's time. Again, show what Timmy Hansen has been pulling off on his first run out here. And what will it be now coming into that last sector? He loses another 2/10 to Timo Scheider. It is the same as we saw with Gigery. There will be really tight with him going over the jump. He does that quite stable as well. Gets the car a bit over-rotated there, but launches it off in the exit, and there will be a 46.4.
So 46.4 is over 9/10 of a second off the pace of our current leader, Timmy Hansen. Timo Scheider goes into 3rd position. Just got a little bit late in that all-important racing line in corner 6, the velodrome turn, as they call it. The fans are here to support Timo, but he will be a little frustrated. Talk us through the replays, Thomas, because I'm not sure he got the line he was hoping for.
No, it was looks from the beginning of, he sends it really good into turn number 2, but maybe it takes a bit height there, trying to aim for the exit. Have a bit of an understeer moment there. Loses maybe a 10th there. And here as well, here it looked quite good actually. Maybe struggled a bit grip in the launching of the exit, coming into the velodrome here. Here as well, he's understeers a bit in the entrance and then struggles with getting the car turned the way he wanted, the exit. Over the jump here, maybe a bit of an over-rotation mid-corner. You can see here, he snaps a bit in the mid-corner, loses maybe a tenth there. It is just a tenth here and there, and it all is a package being behind Biķernieki, and Timmy is still on top.
Yeah, those tenths soon add up. Remember, it's a 10-corner racetrack here. Very little room for error, as we've been saying throughout. Now, here's one of the legends of motor racing with 80 individual wins, 9 times the FIA World Rally Champion, of course. It is the French superstar, Sébastien Loeb.
Höljes is a really special moment in the season. The atmosphere, the track, everything looks amazing here. So we need to be very focused.
There is no question Sébastien Loeb is always a threat. It is the development of this brand new Lancia Delta Evo RX 1E that is the thing that the 2 French drivers with his teammate Gerlen Schischerit are working so hard on. We'll be watching the jumps very carefully because Schischerit himself admitted they've done very little jump practice with this car. And I'm talking about the suspension and the shocks, not the driver's experience. Let's get ready to race, and away goes Sébastien Loeb, looking to better the leading time of 45.491, still held by Timmy Hansen.
Sébastien Loeb, they're coming over the first corner. Maybe it's a bit caution there. Let's see when we get to the sector time how he can place himself. Oh, really hard impact there on the landing of the first jump, heading into 4 and 5. Loses a bit in turn number 5 there, coming into the velodrome. That cost us tenths, but looks really good there. Have a great exit, sends it off. But it is 4 tenths behind the leader, Timmy Hansen here now. It is another, oh, he's similar on pace with Timmy Hansen here. Now Sébastien Loeb coming over that jump. How would that car handle over the jump? Looks quite good, sends it into that last corner here. Rotates really, really good, gets a good launch in the exit. It's a great drive, but it's not enough.
Loeb goes into second position. Just at 3.59 off the pace, just over 3 tenths behind Timmy Hansen. That second sector time was impressive. I think when Loeb gets back to the pit, analyses that, there will be time to find. Timmy Hansen shakes his head. I think he's agreeing with us that Loeb, once he'd got over those first initial corners, really found a good tight racing line.
Yeah, and I think that if you look at the turn number 5 that Sébastien Loeb had, he loses maybe a tenth there, so he could have been in front of on that mid-sector time compared to Timmy Hansen. But here, we can see now coming over there, landing. That was a really hard one. You can really hear the car smashing into the tarmac. But he takes it really caution. Here's what I'm talking about, Nick. Maybe he loses a tenth there, losing a bit going on the dust. But either way, it's a great drive by Sébastien Loeb and almost close to Timmy Hansen.
Yeah, that's a good drive. Expect Sébastien Loeb to glean a lot from that performance. Loeb going into second possession. Timmy Hansen leads, and next up is Timmy Hansen's great rival, the Norwegian driver, O.C. Veiby.
Höljes for me is a great place. It's a lot of fans, spectacular track, jumps, and just love to race here, see all the fans, and also sometimes you can even hear them, you know, in the car.
Now, Veiby, who took 5 podiums from 10 races last season, is still searching for his first podium in 2023. All kinds of dramatic and drama situations and scenarios 2 weeks ago in Norway, hell, when he wouldn't give any space whatsoever to Timmy Hansen in what has become the famous Heat 4 of Norway. But Veiby says both drivers have put that behind them. Rest assured, Veiby will be desperate to meet Timmy Hansen right now in the first of the revenge matchups. Hansen leads, the target time 45.491. Veiby gets the green light, and away the Norwegian goes in the Volkswagen.
What can Veiby do here with Timmy Hansen? We know that Veiby just lives an hour away from the track of Höljes, and he definitely wants to challenge. He'll be here for the win this weekend, and it is currently, let's see now coming into first bit. Oh, Veiby goes hard on the curves, maybe loses a bit the car, gets it over-rotated a bit too far, but he is 3/10 in front, almost 4/10 in front of Timmy Hansen on the first split here. He aims for the exit of the velodrome, gets it shooted out nicely, but it is 4/10 in front of Timmy Hansen on the first sector. Coming into the next one, he's at 900ths of a second in front of that second sector time. This will definitely be a good new best time for Veiby. Coming into the last corner here now, slow and steady, launches it off, and it is a 44.6.
44.698. Veiby goes to top of the table, and let the driving do the talking. That's what many people will be saying. Veiby is the new leader. He's gone sub 45 seconds, almost 8/10 quicker than Hansen. Like every one of the drivers, Veiby desperately wants to get on the podium here this weekend, and that is a good start for the Norwegian driver. Thomas, talk us through these replays.
Really good run from the beginning of, and coming over that first crest there, you can see immediately on Veiby's driving style that he was aiming for a new best time. As sends it to that first corner, through the second one, just slow and steady. He looking for grip, and then he comes into turn number 4 and 5. He goes a bit high on the curbs. I thought he was going to maybe lose a bit there because he was over-rotating a bit too far, but he managed to pull that back in again, coming into the velodrome, and this was a really, really good corner there. He got a good exit, a good launch, a good speed down towards the jump. Sends it over the jumper into that last corner. You can see how cautious he is. He just breaks the car down and aims for the launch in the exit and does that perfectly.
That's the start that Veiby was hoping for, and that he is our new leader, and it's sub 45 seconds that needs to be beaten. Next up is Clara Anderson of the Construction Equipment Dealer Team. Remember, she was on the podium, the first female driver to make the podium last season, and she was 4th just 2 weeks ago in Norway.
It's time for the home race in Höljes, the best rallycross track in the world. I'm so excited to go out in the magic weekend and do the best I can.
Clara Anderson's had a great start to the 2023 season. She was 5th in the opener in Portugal, Mondello, 4th, as we said a couple of weeks ago, in Norway. Is this the weekend that Clara goes one better and takes a place on the podium? It all begins here with the SuperPole. She needs to be in the top times to get that all-important good position going into the first heat. The lights are red, which tells us we are ready to race. Anderson is away on green.
Clara Anderson, what can we do here with the time of Veiby? Veiby had a great time there, and I think that this is a new benchmark. Let's see now Clara Anderson sending it over that jump into turn number 4 and 5. Let's see, doesn't use the curve that much as Veiby did, but is aiming for a good exit out of turn number 5, but it is 7/10 of the time of Veiby. That really shows how hard Veiby was driving that car here. Managed to get the car fixed after a drive shaft issue on the practice this morning. Clara Anderson now sending it down the straight here, aiming for a good exit, just sending it over that jump. Gets a bit wide, over-rotating it a bit, but gets a nice and steady jump. Another 800ths of a second is lost on that middle sector there. It won't be a new best time, but what can Clara do? Places herself 4th.
Clara Anderson takes the checkered flag with a 46.059 seconds. 4th position for Clara Anderson. She's just behind Loeb, who sits 3rd. Timmy Hansen in 2nd position. Veiby still sets that target time.
Really curious on there on what made Clara lose so much time into that first sector. Can't really see any big mistakes. Maybe it's all about the attack that you have throughout that first corner. You can see there's a bit nervous going into that first corner there. You need to be really, really decisive and just send it in. That's really important heading that corner there. Coming into that velodrome. Maybe loses a bit here as well. You don't see the same attack as Veiby had and the same launch in the exit. But either way, coming down to that last corner here now, over the finish line, Clara Anderson.
Good performance from Clara Anderson. We move on now, just 3 drivers left to challenge. The top 3 in the current championship standings. And next up is Kevin Hansen, who was 2nd to his brother in this race back in 2021.
And it's Höljes, the most fun track of the year, and it's time to hit that perfect lap.
Kevin Hansen, who started the season with an impressive runner-up position behind Johan Kristoffersson in the season opener in Portugal, got himself into a little bit of bump and barge and bother in Norway a couple of weeks ago and had to settle for 9th by the end of proceedings in Norway. So it's a similar story for Kevin as it is for his older brother, Timmy. They're looking to make amends for a season that they expected to be going a lot better than it has been so far. But Kevin Hansen's got good form here as a junior. He knows this track well and is always a threat when we start racing wheel to wheel. But for now, Kevin Hansen is looking to better the time of 44.698 seconds, with Veiby still at the top of the table. Kevin Hansen down the straight into corner 1, full speed for the young Swedish driver.
We've said it before and we say it again. You need to be able to make yourself take some risk if you want to be able to compete with the time of the KMS. The KMS car is working so good out there, and then it's all about being able to take those risks. Oh, then you have Kevin Hansen losing it all.
Oh,
exactly what we talked about, because it is all about, yes, willing to take the risk, but you can lose so much on it, and Kevin does exactly that, and he knows that himself. Loses 4/10 of the first one. It will be more in that middle sector here now. It will be over a second, 1.5 seconds, yes. The race is over for Kevin Hansen. He tried, he knew what he had to do, just coming over the jump here now and to the finish line, but it was worth a try.
Yeah, Kevin Hansen putting a little too much into those early corners, losing control of the Peugeot, and 46.722. That is the slowest time so far, over 2 seconds off the pace. Veiby's all smiles, the 2 drivers left to challenge, but for Kevin Hansen, just pushing a little too hard too soon and spinning out of the track, and he pays the price. He's going to have to work hard through the heats now to try and make up for that error.
Was exactly what we talked about with Johan Kristoffersson yesterday. The middle sector between corner 4 and 5, that's where you can gain the most, but it's also where you can lose the most, and that's what happened with Kevin Hansen there. He tried to use the curb on the inside in order to gain some height into that turn number 5, and look here, it looks like it hooks and just loses the line completely, going out in that dust, and that just sends him wide off the track. Loses 1.5 seconds on that mistake, and from there on he knew it immediately straight away that my race is done. You need to have every lap, every corner perfectly in order to get and be able to compete up on top there. And he tried, it just didn't work out. And Ole Christian, he likes to stay where he's at the moment. You can also see that he was a bit offline over the jump there, nose diving it down, but no further than that over the finish line.
OC Veiby still at the top of the table. 2 drivers left to challenge, currently lying in 2nd position in the championship standings with 2 podiums from 2 races. Niklas Gronholm needs to get the better of the KMS team here, take the lead from Veiby and put the pressure on Johan Kristoffersson, who will be the last driver to challenge.
Great track. I would say a small roller coaster, and really a nice section out of the velodrome, down the hill and to the big jump.
Well, his father is a former winner here back in 2008. Can it be Niklas Gronholm's year in 2023? The form looks good coming into this 3rd race of 10 this season. The Flying Finn looking to put the pressure on the KMS team. Take the lead from Veiby, put the heat on Kristoffersson. Look at the punching. It's becoming his traditional warm-up now to get that adrenaline pumping and to put down his best performance. Ready to race. And the Finn, Gronholm in the PWR RX 1E is away.
And I'm expecting things from Niklas Gronholm here now. He's pumping himself up at the starting line. And let's see now, Gronholm, what can you do? We know that you are well known for taking some risk if it's necessary, and you know that that's what you need to do now to be able to go up on the top there. Yeda, he goes high on the curves there in order to get himself a good exit out of turn number 5 there. But it is 0.6 of a second off of Veiby. Veiby's done a supreme job in his former lap here, and I think that this is going to be really difficult to play with. But let's see now in the middle sector. almost equal with Baby, but still behind, and he goes really wide, over-rotates the car into that right-hander. The same goes on with the jump. This is a massive run for Niklas Gronholm here, and they definitely won't be able to compete with Baby for this one.
Gronholm goes for the checkered flag, 45.780. Gronholm goes into third position. All smiles for OC Baby, holding on to top position. And that's an important confidence boost for OC Baby. Remember, Gronholm has been on the podium in all of his races so far this season. Baby is searching for his first. Not a bad performance from the Finn, but he'll expect a lot more than this, Thomas.
Yeah, it was a massive run all the way through, actually, by Niklas Gronholm. It was a really good middle sector where he was climbing high up the curb in order to get that good line into turn number 5. But from there on, he was crabbing around, and it looks like he was just really uncomfortable with his car. And Baby sees that. He sees that he said that he's behind. He sees that Gronholm is struggling with the car, and it just wasn't enough.
So we have one driver left to challenge, the undefeated SuperPole driver Johan Kristoffersson. 5 times the FIA World Rallycross Champion, 37 wins, 51 podiums, unbeaten so far this season. Of course, it's Johan Kristoffersson.
Track here in Höljes is just mega. First corner is one of the best corners in the world in rallycross for me. So from there on, you know, you take your way up to the velodrome. From velodrome and down the hill is one of the fastest sections in World RX. And then you have the big jump before the last corner.
Johan Kristoffersson has won here in Höljes 3 times before, but in an all-electric RX1E VW Polo, this is the first time they've ever raced here in Höljes. And for a driver that breaks records just about every time he drives, believe you me, he wants to win this, and he wants to win it badly. But he's got to beat his teammate. Now, we're told there's no team rules when it comes to one or the other. So 44.698 is the target time for Johan Kristoffersson. The light is green, and the defending world champion is away into his favourite corner on the whole of the series, corner 1 in Höljes.
Corner 1 in Höljes, and I'm excited to see now what the Baby has done. What can Johan Kristoffersson do with the time of Baby? We are seeing it now. He will be on this. Oh, he is a 500 of a second in front. Johan Kristoffersson is a 500 of a second in front of Baby. It is really, really close. He has a good exit out of that velodrome, launching it off in the exit. Let's see now. We know that Baby did a great job here. What have Johan Kristoffersson? He is 110 behind. That means the Baby is in front. It is all coming down to that last corner here now. He sends it over the jump. That last corner coming up. Will it be Johan? Will it be Baby?
Kristoffersson tightens the line, looks to make up the difference, heading for the checkered flag, and it's 44.625. Johan Kristoffersson keeps the unbeaten SuperPole record, goes to the top of the table. Baby cannot believe it. His head in his hands. He's been beaten again by the master Johan Kristoffersson. We thought he let it slip by. The sector times weren't in his favour in the mid part of the challenge, but then he finds another gear in the closeout to go top of the table. Thomas, talk us through this replay.
Well, an amazing job there by Johan Kristoffersson. I mean, they were really equal in pace on that first sector. You can see they're both driving quite similar lines, but it all came down with Ole Christian was a bit more risky into turn number 4 and 5. And that went into favor. You can see that Johan over-rotates the car in the exit, and it just gives him a bad exit out of turn number 5. Ole Christian sees that, maybe, but then Johan comes up in the end with that amazing sector.
Thrilling run into the checkered flag. Baby's thought he'd done enough to take his first SuperPole victory. He was up against Johan Kristoffersson.
Johan, you've made a habit of collecting SuperPole wins so far in the electric here, but it must be extra special to do it here at your home event here at the Magic Weekend.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's super nice to be fastest on the track, and Ole Christian put on a very, very good lap, and I had a small mistake going up into the velodrome, so I knew it was going to be tight, and I actually thought that I was going to lose it, but yeah, it was really, really good. And I mean, big compliments to the guys that built the car, and even Kevin is starting to compliment our car. So there we see how good the car actually is. So super happy with that, and yeah, looking forward for the heats now.
You guys are always working on the cars, always making sure you're finding every bit of time. Do you have more time in the back here?
Yeah, I think that's one of the difference that we are trying to keep and getting the car better and better every time, and very good to have Ole Kristian also on the team that are equally fast. So to make small changes and to make the package better all the time, and I think that's one of the key that makes us successful.
Congratulations, Johan. Great drive.
Thank you.
Ja, Johan, då ska vi ta, du får du vända om fram kameran där borta så får du lokalt där också. Fantastiskt. Ja, nej, bra.
So let's take a look at the SuperPole result here. Johan Kristoffersson, unbeaten track record, holds yet again. Ole Christian Veiby will be happy with his performance, I'm sure, in runner-up position. Timmy Hansen third, Gronholm 4, Loeb in 5th position, Clara Anderson, Gerlen Schischerit, Timo Scheider. Kevin Hansen will be disappointed with his performance, and we will not see Gustav Bergström until tomorrow, racing here in Höljes, Sweden. Now, speaking of the schedule, let's bring you right up to date with the rest of the afternoon into the early evening's racing. We'll be back at 1 p.m. local time here in Sweden with the first heat. That's the Euro RX3 front-wheel drive series. Then the 2-litre turbocharged four-wheel drive Euro RX1 Heat 1. Then we go electric with the RX2E and World RX1 Heat opening heats. Then we move through the afternoon into Heats 2 and into Heat 3 as we come to the close of the day for the RX2E series. So it will be a very, very exciting afternoon's racing here in Höljes as they go 4, 5, 6 cars out on the track all at the same time. It's been a fantastic morning, but there's a lot of action to come up this afternoon. We'll take a break. We'll be back at 1 p.m. with all of the team. And until then, it's many thanks for your company and goodbye for now.